What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be checking out the QVO Wingman Appendix rig versus the TucTite Annex Appendix holster. Welcome back to Sidearm Productions, everybody. My name's Matt. Today we're going to be checking out two different Kydex Appendix holsters. I think they're both of the very high quality Kydex holster realm. Now these two holsters that we're going to be looking at today are for two different firearms. So the one from QVO, the Wingman, is for my M&P Shield 9mm. The TucTite Annex that we're going to be looking at is for my FNS 9C. All right, so first taking a look at the QVO Wingman. It's a very high quality, all Kydex holster, and everything feels tight, good quality. The clips work great. They're nice and tight and snappy. I think this is what they're calling a wing. This is designed to press against your belt so that it's pushing the firearm closer into your body as you tighten your belt down for better concealability. As far as I can tell, this little piece is just another piece of Kydex like the rest of the holster is made out of. And you'll notice it kind of wiggles a little bit. It functions nicely. It does push against the belt to give you good concealability. It fits the firearm very nicely. There's my M&P Shield 9. It's clear. And it gets that nice loud click. Getting this out of here without having it on your belt, it's kind of tough. But it fits it nicely and retains it nicely. It's not gonna fall out or anything like that. Looking at the shape of it, you'll notice it's got this nice curve to it. So where the magazines sit is curved in relation to where the firearm sits. And not only, and you might not be able to really tell on camera, but it also tilts back a little bit. So everything on this is really designed to pull the firearm or pull that extra magazine closer into your body for better concealability. Your retention for the magazine is really based off this screw. So this one goes in really loosely because I've got it pretty loose, but I can hold it upside down and shake it a bit and it's not gonna fall out. This is just kind of nitpicking, kind of the fit and finish on here. Notice that hole either is too big or doesn't really line up with this screw very well. Now we're looking at the TucTite Annex, and immediately you'll notice you've got the same setup with a wing device, the firearm holster, and an extra magazine. Starting over at this wing, you'll notice it's not just another piece of Kydex that's kind of folded like on the Wingman. It actually is a molded piece of plastic. It's essentially its own part. This just seems like a more thought out part. And because of these spacers and these washers, you can loosen it up for whatever retention you want without this thing wiggling around at all. So I feel like this part's just a little bit more thought out. On the back here, you'll notice that the Annex, the TucTite holster, the one we're looking at now, has this little mound. This is made of rubber. It's a little bubble. What that's designed to do is press against your body, and as you tighten your belt down, it's gonna keep that part kind of out away from your body as it pulls in your waistband. Everything is designed to pull the firearm and the holster and lean it towards your body. So you've got this curve, the wing that's pushing that firearm handle into your body, and then even that little rubber pad that presses against your body, once again leaning the whole entire holster into your body. Another little note is the TucTite holster used these little washers. The QVO holster did not. A little cleaner finish, I think. So I like that as well. So real quick, I'll show you guys the retention for this holster. This is the FNS 9C. Weapon is clear and safe. Again, without these on your belt, holstering and unholstering is a little tough. But you get that nice click, and that's not going anywhere. This one is a little less difficult to unholster than the QVO. Still pretty tough. And then the retention for the extra magazine. Now I will note this one, I had to play with this retention a little bit. I feel like maybe the fit is not as custom. I don't have to worry about that falling out of there too easy. Not that I'm gonna be shaking this thing upside down. All right, so I'm gonna demonstrate really quickly for both holsters. how I wear them, how I carry them, and then demonstrate a couple draws. Starting with the QVO Wingman for the M&P Shield 9. And that's how it conceals very well, even in a really tight shirt. I mean, minimal printing still. Probably couldn't even tell that's a firearm. So notice how much my belt moves. That's how much you gotta pull on it. Again, if you do it quickly, it comes out pretty quickly. And now the TucTite Annex with the FNS 9C. But it conceals just as good in my opinion. And a couple draws with this one. Yeah, if you don't pull it out quickly, you're gonna have a tough time getting it out. So no slow pull. But yeah, pulling it out quickly draws pretty good. But again, pay attention to how much my belt is moving. I think that should give you guys a pretty good idea of what the holsters look like and feel like and function like. But I want to do a direct comparison for a couple of things. I want to compare the price. Neither of these holsters are cheap. If you're looking for a cheap holster option, these are not it. TucTite Annex without any upgrades is $119.99. The QVO Wingman was just a little bit cheaper than that at $115. So without any upgrades, these holsters are priced within $5 of one another. The next thing I want to compare between the two holsters is how long did it take me to get them? From the day I ordered the TucTite holster to the day I received it was 24 days. From the day I ordered that QVO Wingman to the day I received it was, get this, 70 days. 70. So 10 weeks. On their website, it says it's gonna take 8 weeks. I didn't assume it would take up to the 8 weeks. Well, it took 8 weeks plus another 2 weeks. As far as the quality of finish, I have to give a slight edge to the TucTite Annex. Main reason is just a couple of those features that I mentioned, like these little washers that they put on, and the fact that the little wing doesn't seem like an afterthought. It seems like it's designed to be there and it doesn't wiggle. And then another feature on here that kind of ties into concealability as well, but it's this little rubber pad that's on the back of it that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to give the build quality, fit and finish edge to the TucTite Annex. As far as concealability goes, I think I'm just going to say that's a tie. I think they're both very comfortable, very concealable, and I don't think either of them has any excessive printing or anything weird about them that makes one better than the other. As far as retention and draw, both holsters are very, very secure. You notice when I didn't have the holster on a belt and I'm trying to pull that firearm out of there, it's pretty tricky to do. You've got to have another hand on there and really kind of use some force, and I've got the retention set on both of these just about as loose as you'd want to set it, where the screws are still grabbing and holding both pieces of Kydex together decent. As far as the extra magazine retention, I've got to give that to the QVO Wingman. It just seems to sit in there perfect. I think it sits in a little bit deeper, which just maybe adds a little bit more friction without having to tighten down that screw so much, and still be able to easily draw that extra magazine. I do feel like the QVO Wingman is a little bit more difficult to draw from. I feel like it's yanking on my belt a little bit more, and I think this is why the TucTite seems to be a little easier to draw. This is indented slightly around the whole trigger guard. So yes, the whole trigger guard still snaps into the holster, but this little indentation here is your main point of retention. So it's one small spot that's indented further that's intended to hold on to the end of the trigger guard. But I think the difference is when you're drawing, having this one main point of retention versus the entire trigger guard being, indented further is what's making it slightly easier to draw this versus the QVO Wingman. So as you can tell, the TucTite Annex in my mind is a little bit better quality product. Obviously I got it a lot quicker. To be fair, both of these are really high quality Kydex Appendix holster rigs. They have that extra magazine, they have the little wing on them. They're both very concealable, very comfortable. So if you're looking for a quality Kydex holster, I could recommend either one of these. Maybe the determining factor is they happen to make the holster for the firearm in configuration that you're using or that you're buying, but I wouldn't steer away from either based on quality or price, in my opinion. Again, they're not cheap, but I think they're a good value for what you get. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully you'll consider subscribing to Sidearm Productions, or better yet, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we put out a new video. Thanks again for watching Sidearm Productions, and we'll see you next time.